All right. All right. Good day, class. Today we are going to look at numbers and numerals. Okay? Numbers and numerals. All right. So I hope everyone is doing well. Like we say that you always need to remember that you donate to support us. Okay? Because the team is ready to take you through everything in core mathematics. Okay? So don't worry, just take your time, follow the class, do your donation, and that's it. If you have any problem, just send us mail. You have the mail down there. If you don't have any email address, just add your number, then you write at gmail or at yahoo.com. All right, or you can send us on our WhatsApp platform, Telegram platform. The Telegram too is working, and then we will look at it. Okay. All right. So today we are looking at numbers and numerals. All right. Oh, like I said, my name is Otisajay Usu, and then today that's what we are going to look at: numbers and numerals. All right. So now let's take our time to go through what exactly is numbers and numerals. Okay. The important aspect of we studying that. Okay. So we are going to take our time to take you through. Remember that when these topics end, we are going to solve past questions under numbers and numerals. Okay, very very practical. All right, so this topic is going to help you to be able to read figures. Okay, figures in terms of when. All right, so today we are going to help you to understand it, and I mean it. Okay, so don't panic. All right, so we know that in primary school you were introduced to the set of counting numbers. Okay, so the numbers of this set are the numbers beginning with 1, each successive number greater than its predecessor by 1. Okay, so we say that the set of counting numbers is denoted by n. All right, n could be natural numbers, right? So um counting numbers could be natural numbers. All right, so we've started something. Okay, so let's say counting. Let's write this: counting numbers. All right, so counting numbers could be also known as natural numbers. So how do we see how can we identify a natural number or a counting number? A counting number, as the name goes, numbers that we can count. All right, so you can start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to trillions to the infinity. Okay, they are all counting numbers, so they can be classified as natural numbers. All right, so let's write I think now you know what a counting number is, and then let's say that. Okay, so the set of natural numbers, okay, could be written as we were trying to mention them. Could be 1, could be 2, could be 3, could be 4, could be 5, could be 6, could be 7, could be 8, could be 9, could be 10, and a whole lot. Okay, so these are example of natural numbers. All right, so natural numbers, the symbol that we use to represent it is an n. Okay, the same as counting numbers. Okay, so let's write something. All right, so the sets of counting are natural numbers. All right, could be or is n. All right, so this is how we can write natural numbers, or we can write counting numbers. I hope it's clear. So we've not go into details. Okay, today we are going to know how to write figures, how to read figures. All right, I hope it's clear. There's no confusion. Okay, so we can continue, right? Okay, so if you can continue, we continue. Okay, so since now we know counting numbers, or what do you call it, real numbers, then what is a whole number? Okay, so now let's look at a whole number. What a whole number means. Whole number. Whole numbers. Okay, so what do you call it? A whole number. We are going to look at the difference between natural numbers and the whole numbers. Natural numbers are counting numbers, 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. And the whole numbers, they consist of all the numbers. We know that 0 is a number, right? But 0 can never be a counting number, because if you are counting something, you don't start from 0. Okay, so when there is a 0 to the set, then it means that it's a whole number. So simple. So simple. So let's put it this. The set of whole numbers, the set of whole numbers starts from 0. Okay, so we say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, let's end at 9. Okay, 10, 11, 12 to infinity. Okay, they are all whole numbers. So 0 is a number, is a whole number, but it's not a counting number, because if you're counting, you won't add 0 to it. All right, so 0, we take 0 out of counting number, but when the 0 is part of the set, or the list of set that we've mentioned, then they are whole numbers. Okay, all right, so now we know this. Now we are about to go to where we want to go. All right, so now we know whole numbers, we know counting numbers. Now let's see how we can place figures. All right, so we know that every number that we write is in base 10. Okay, is in base 10 digits. So when we talk of the set of digits for base 10 is from 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. So every whole number is in base 10, but you don't see it. Okay, so if you write 6 is in base 10, whatever. All right, so let us do this. This numeration system is also known as the binary or decimal system. So in decimal numbers, we count in tens. For example, we have 56 in base 10. All right. Okay, so as we know now, we know our counting numbers, we know our whole numbers. Now we know that every whole number has it in base 10. All right, which the base 10, okay, it's a set from 0 to 9. Okay, so we will be looking at those number bases. Okay, but let's look at this. Let's come to this topic. All right, let's come to this short topic. We will name it counting and writing Okay, let's look at this. Counting and writing numerals. Okay, let's look at how to write and count numerals. Okay, all right. So the system of numerals we use today is called a decimal or binary system. Okay, so the symbols used are 0, 1, 2, 3, like I've said already. In this system, a digit placed in a numeral or number is important. Each place has a different value. For example, all right, let's look at this. Okay, I want us to look at this, how to count and write numbers. All right, let's write this number 56. When we write a number like 56, it means that the 5 multiplied by 10 plus the 6, that's what we can read it as 56. 56 means that 55 times 5 times 10, okay, plus 6, and this gives us 56. I hope you're following. Very simple. Okay, so it means that the 5 is in base 10, which is being multiplied by 10 to get it 50. So 5 times 10 is 50, plus the 6 is 56. Okay, but before we start thinking too deep, let us look at this. Okay, let us look at this. This is very simple to understand. We have one figure. We have two figures. We have 3. We have 4. We have 5. And we have 6. Let's do this. Very simple. Ones is 0. Okay, so let's make ones is 0. Okay, let's come here. I want you to understand. Let's come here and then do this. 2. Okay, tens. You will say is 0. I hope you're following. Now let's come here and say that hundreds. Let's make hundreds 0. Thousands. Okay, thousands, let's make it thousands, let's make it 0. Let's make this let's make this 10,000. Okay, I want it to be very simple for you, so don't be confused. So let's make 10,000. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay. Okay, so 10,000. Let's do for we do of 5, right? So let's do of 6. Let's do of 6. Okay, which is a million. Okay, so let's say million. A million equals 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me do it this way so that it gets you understand it very clear. All right, you understand it very easy. All right. So look at this. Like we just want to know how to read figures, how to count figures. All right, how to read numbers. Now look at this very well, and look at the strategy that we are going to do. We are going to take it one so that you won't be confused. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. Now let's take the ones with the 1 0. Okay, let's take the ones with the 1 0. So always when there is a figure written, check, count the numbers written there. Not about reading the numbers, but just count it. So supposing this one, we can count it 1, right? In tens we can count this 1 2. In the hundreds we can count it 1 2 3. So always when there are figures, they just count it 1 2 3. So when you count it and it has only 3 figures, then it means it's in hundreds. When you count and it's in 4 figures, then it is in thousands. When you count and it's in 10, it is in 1 2 3 4 5, then it's in 10,000. When you count, okay, so when you count it and it's in 6, then it means in thousand. It is in million. I hope you're getting the logic. Okay, so now let's start with it. Okay, so let's start with the ones. Okay, so the ones, we write this is 1 because it has only one figure, is 1. You can write 8. We can write 9. You can write 5. Okay, it's single, so we count it 1. It's a single figure, then we mention it as it is. So it's 1, it's 8, it's 9, it's 5, it's 2, it's 3, it's whatever. Okay, so it's 1. So we count the figures. This is 1, and that's it. I hope it's clear. Let's go to the tens and let's see. Alright, so now let's go to the tens. Example. So this has what? 2 figures, 2 and 0, right? So we call it 20. It's in tens. We have 30, 45 is in tens. So we mention it as it is. 78. All right. So all these things, all these ones. Okay, let me make this one like this. Okay, so let me make this one like this. So they are just 1 1 2 3. Okay, let me let me bring comma in it so that you can see that they all stand its own. All right, so now let's look at these figures, these numbers. Okay, so we are trying to know how to read the numbers. All right, look at the tricks. All right, so this has what? Only two figures. We can do this 12 too. It's also part. We can make this 15. They're all in tens. Okay, so the ones is 1. We mention it as it is. Now, okay, so we say 12. 12 is in tens. 15 is in tens. Because the reason why we are saying it's in tens is that it has only two figures. 1, 2. Alright, so 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. They have two figures, right? Okay, so take notes. So we have ones which has 1, 0, 1. Only one figure. Okay? Alright, so now let's look at hundreds, which will have 3 figures. So hundreds. So 100 has 3 figures. So write it down. Write something. Any 3 figures that you wish to write it down. So write it. We are waiting. As you're writing, remember to donate, to support us. Any amount you can, from your heart, tell your mom to support us so that we can keep helping you to understand. Okay? Alright. So, are you done? Alright, so now let's look at this. We have 300. We have 200, which is in 3 figures. I have here 300. I have here 100. I have here 120, which is in 100. Right? The reason why we are saying it's in 100 is that it has 3 figures. 3 figures. Alright? So if a number is written down, just check the figures, count them. 1, 2, 3, then this is in hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, then this is in thousands. 1, 2 is in tens. So you mention it as it is. Alright, so let's see. So we have 200, we have 300, we have 100, we have 120. Okay, we have 150. They are all in hundreds because it has 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we will come to know the combination of okay, so let me clear this and then let's make it 500 so that it won't bring any confusion, because we will come to combining the ones, the tens, and then the hundreds together. All right, so let's write this as 600. We can write 900. All right, so we mention it as it is because they have 3 figures. So any 3 figures is in hundreds. 2 figures is in tens, and 1 figure is in ones. So simple to go. All right, it's yehwe senia baby a yebedru no ho yehwe senia beti say your tro numbers go na ye ka se kan a fa se bia o ye adwuma ya tro figures bi agu ho ese se utimi read figures na hu amount dodo a ya tro ato. Okay, and na yehwe ho asebaka enu nti no ya hu se your tro figure bi to a kind figures your tro number bi to a kind figures no kire say kind no baako So what kind of baako pɛ si ya ne is in one say ya baako pɛ. So what kind of say a mienu a 1 2 a 1 2 a ne say is in tens. So what kind of miensa ne say is in hundreds. What kind of 3 a ne say is in hundreds. So 1 2 3 then is in hundreds. Okay. Now let's see the thousands. All right. Then we come to the millions. Okay. We come to the millions. I think the millions should be 7. Okay, you will come to the millions. Don't worry. So now let's go to the thousands. Okay. So we go to the thousands. So the thousands. 4 figures. Okay. So write something down and let's see. 4 figures making 1,000. Right. So write it down. As you're writing it down, try to tell your mom to support us, to donate to support us on 0245 21 52 66, 0278887080, or you can follow the platform and do the donation. Just click on the numbers and donate. We have ICT for you as well. You can, learn ICT as well, and then this is for JHS, right? JHS class that we are in. So if your brother is in SHS, tell him or her to join us, okay? Because we have SHS there. Okay. All right. Good day. So you've written it. All right. So we can say that 1,000, right? It has 4 figures. So let's count and see. 1 2 3 4. Okay. So it has 4 figures. We can write about 3,000. 4 figures, right? Write about 2,000. We can write about 9,000. Okay, so it has 4 figures. So every 4 figure is in thousands. Okay, so we can write this as well. 5,000. So you count the number of figures. The number of figures tells you whether it's in thousands, is in hundreds, tens, or ones. So now we have come to agreement that if the figures are in 4, then it means in thousands. So we can count it like this: 1 2 3 4. Then it means that the figure is in thousands. So we can say that it's 5,000. We can say that this is 9,000. We can say that this is 2,000. This is 3,000. This is 1,000. So cheap, right? I hope you're getting it. Okay, so don't confuse. Don't go to bank and ask, na sika ya mami minchro sensha. You get it? Don't go there and then do it. Just write it because you know what it is. It's in thousands because they are in 4. All right, so now let's see 10,000. Okay, so we are looking at 10,000. So let's go to 10,000, okay? So 10,000. All right, so 10,000. What? Oh, sorry. So let's look at 10,000. So how many digits are we expecting at 10,000? 10,000 to be 5 digits, right? 1 2 3 4 5. All right. Okay. So now let's write an example. So write it down. 10,000. Write it down. And as you're writing it down, we'll always keep remembering you that your donation counts. You can make it a day, week, monthly. If you want a day, do 5 CDs. Can do 10 CDs a day. that is up to you. If you want to make it week, we will be happy. If you want to make it months, we will be happy. Any way that you want to make it, okay, just do it, because we are going to help you a lot to study and then to become very very good in mathematics. And that's what we are for you. All right, so I hope you've done with it. Okay, so now let's look at it. 10,000. We have 5 figures, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should expect that the number putting down has 5 figures. That tells us that we are in 5,000. We are in 10,000, right? So what about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20,000, right? Okay. We've been able to identify 20,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 30,000. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10,000. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we call it? 40,000. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 70,000. We can write and write and write and write. Okay? So that is it. So very easy and cheap. Not difficult at all, right? Okay. Now let's see. If we know this, then I bet you we can quote more than even any kind of numbers written on our table. We can quote, we can identify it. Okay, all right. Okay, so the reason why we say is 20,000 is that we are into what do you call it? Let me go top. All right, the reason why we can say that this is 20,000 is that we have 5 figures. All right, and 5 figures, you can't come and say 200,000. Make no sense. So it's 20,000 because there's a comma here. So when we do 20, the zeros, 1,000, 30,000, 10,000, 40,000. So that's how it is. Okay, so that's how it is. All right, so now let's do the million. I think the million is okay for you. We'll get to million, and that's it. So the million, we say is 7. We should have 7 digits, right? So let's write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 1 million. We have 1 million, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 5 million, right? Okay, let's say this 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Let me cross check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think this is too much. All right, so we have 7 million. We have 7 million. We have 5 million. We have 1 million. All right. So let's go through again, and then let's see what we have done so far. All right, so we are trying to read figures. All right, very very important, very very practical thing here. So we are trying to be able to count and write numbers. Okay, so we came to an agreement that when we write 56, this means that the 5 is in base 10. That means 5 times 10 plus 6. That gives you the 56. So we try to place the values in terms of ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, a million. And then we says that whenever you see you identify one figure, then it means it's in ones. When you do two figures, you identify two figures. When there's a figure on board or on paper and it's in two figures, then it means it's in tens. Then what you just mentioned it, 56, 10, 20, 40, 41, and that's it. When it is it has three what do you call it, figures, then it is in hundreds. When it's in four figures, then then it is in thousands. When it is in one, two, three, four, five figures, then it is in 10,000, and a million has seven figures. All right, so you count it before you start mentioning, or you start doing any action to the figures there. So we set an example: ones 1, 8, 9, 5, 4, 2, right? So what do you call it, tens, we say 12, 15, 20, 30, 45, 78, blah blah blah. Hundreds, we have 200, we have 300, we have 100, we have 500, we have 600, we have 900. It comes to thousands, and we have 1,000, 3,000, 2,000, 9,000, 5,000. Okay, so that is it. Now let's look at this. Okay, so we are placing values, right? Okay, we are in the place value. Let me write it here. Place value. Let me write it here, please. Place values of digits. All right, so let me do that. Let me write it that way. Okay, so that we know what we are about, what we are doing. Okay, so now let's look at something. Okay, so now we know this. Let's set another example. Now we know that we are going to combine the ones, the tens, the hundreds, and the thousands, but let's take it one after the other. Let's do the hundreds. Okay, let's do the tens. Okay, let's do the tens. So we are combining the tens, the ones, and the tens. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that and let's see. All right, so combining them. Okay, let's make it a topic. Let's make it value of digits. All right. Okay, so we are a very small topic called value of digits. Okay, so let's write something in tens. Okay, let's make it ones plus tens. All right, I just want to break it down for you to understand it. Okay, that is what I'm doing. All right, so ones plus tens, or tens plus 1. Let me do this. Let me rather make it tens plus 1 so that you understand it very well. uh, Tens plus ones. All right, okay, so here we go. Let's write it down. How do we read this? It has how many figures? It has 2, so it's in tens, right? So we say it's 70. Good, right? Plus 5, which is 1. So how do we write it? We write it to be, we say it's 75. I hope it's clear. So when you put 75 there, it's 70 in tens plus the 1 plus ones, which is the 5. So it makes it 75. Okay, so we can write a lot of examples like 40 plus 8 equals 48. The 40, you can hear the tens, 40 and 8, so 48. I hope it's clear. All right, now let's make the hundreds. Hope we can write and write and write. So let's make the hundreds. The hundreds plus tens plus ones. Okay, so let's look at this. When we write of this, I hope you know what the figure is. So we can say that it's 600. So it's in 100. Why we say 600? Because when we count the number, the figures is 3. So if it's in 3, it's 100. Right? You remember, 3 is in hundreds. Okay? So we can say that this is 600. The 600 we can use, we can add a figure to it. So plus 41, no, plus 40 plus, let's make it plus 9. Plus 9, right? So what will be the answer? You write 6, 4, 9. All right, so 649. So even 649 is in hundreds, right? So we have 1, 2, 3 figures, so it's in hundreds. So we say that, so we have the 40, which is the tens inside, and the 9, which is in the ones. All right, and we have the 6, which is in the hundreds. So because it's 3 figures, we say that 649. 649. I hope it's clear. So 649. Now let's do another example so that the what do you call it? So that the understanding will come. All right. So we say 700. So we say plus, let's say 60 plus, let's say 8. So what will it be? So we say that the 700. So we take this 7, we take this 6, and we take this 8. So how whatever you make the addition, we just take the 7, we take the 6, we take the 8. So now we get 768, because yes, still is, it has 3 figures, so it's in hundreds. So we mentioned it 700 plus the tens, which is the 60s, plus the 8, which is the 8, so 768. So that's how we read the figure. Very, very simple and cheap. You get it? Okay, so now let's set another example. So this time, let's set another example and let's see. So let's write 700 plus, let's say 80 plus, let's say 4. So how do we do the addition? We just take the 7, we take the 8, then we take the 4, which is 784. I hope it's clear. It's very cheap, right? So before we go to the next, which will be the thousands plus the 100 plus the tens plus the ones, okay, we will do it the next, we will do it the next class, but before we go, let's try to quote, just let's quote a number and try to mention it. All right, and try to write it down and mention it and write it in this way. All right, so let's code this. 712. So how do you quote it? What will it be? 612. All right, so it's very simple. How many figures does it have? 1, 2, 3. So it's in 100. So we say it's like 612. 10 plus 1, which is 2. 612. Okay, very cheap, simple, right? So we say that we write it in this way: 600 plus 10 plus 2, and that makes it 612. Okay, so we are ending it here. Remember to donate to support us. 0245 21 52 66 027 888 7080, and then do not forget to tell your mom to donate. Using the platform also will help. So if you're outside Ghana, you can use the platform to do the donation. And have a nice day. We will meet in our next class. Bye bye.